Welcome to this week's deep dive. This week we have the very wonderful Reagan Hartman. Welcome, Reagan.
Hi.
So, our topic this week was about working from home. And so we decided to talk to you because you're a recent convert to working from home, in that you used to go into an office and now you're usually in an office, but for the people who are listening to the podcast, you can't see that. She is in beautiful sunny California, making me
Yep.
extremely jealous right now.
Hey, you have an open invitation anytime. You know that.
Done. I'm moving down. Just
All
make
right.
room for me and my dog and we're good.
Absolutely.
So
Speaking
yes,
of dog, I do have my dog with me, so he may jump in camera every once in a while, but that's fine. That's
that's
one of
perfect.
the fun parts of doing things like this.
Yeah, we've taken the working from home to the extreme in that you've gone outside for this all, but to sort of demonstrate the flexibility that comes with it.
Exactly. There's flexibility, there's freedom. Every day is a little bit different. Like I had said during, I think, one of the tweets, one of the hardest parts is listening to Riley snore behind me and trying not to snuggle with him because I'm trying to get something done. I'm working on a proposal, I'm working on a presentation, I'm working on something important and they need to focus. And I just see him behind me all cute and cuddly, and I just want to jump in.
They're one of the major distractions about working from home. It's just
Yeah.
like, don't you know how nice your life is? Like, can't you understand that? I have to work. This is terrible for me.
Exactly. And that's also one of the advantages, though. I mean, he's 11 and a half. I've worked in an office. I've always commuted and was away from him for so long, so many hours of the day. And then I'd come home and have to, cook or clean or, do house things and adult things and all the fun life, and didn't get to spend as much time with him. Now I can actually make time and, we start off our days with walks and, get our mind ready for the day. And then we can, then I can work, but I can also spend time with him and don't feel so guilty for leaving.
Yeah. The faces that dogs can make when you abandon them, apparently.
Oh,
So,
yes.
a true skill. I need to learn those like sad face of like you're leaving forever. And
Yeah.
you've started working from home now. So what have you found to
Mhm.
be the biggest obstacle for yourself in sort of transitioning from the structure of having an office to now your time's your own? You make it like, what structures have you put in place and how are you reinforcing them?
That's actually something that I do struggle with and I'm working on every day. It's a challenge. It's trying to figure out what my week looks like ahead and planning that out. And I do need to write things down and actually schedule things. Otherwise, I will not stick to it. I don't have that willpower just yet. I'm working on that. Because it's like, oh, something popped up. Ooh, shiny. I can go and do that. That's more fun. But then I need to come back and I wind up working later or, I get sidetracked. So I try not to allow myself to do that too often. And, but it is a daily struggle and it's something that I'm working on. So one of the questions actually was tips for staying productive and not allowing that to happen. And my response was, I'm taking notes here because this is something I'm not good at just yet. But, it's only been a few months that I've been doing this but I'm trying not to let the bad habits start early. If I can, get a system and get things going, I'll be good.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's
So
really interesting, like people's tips on what they kind of came up with, which was like making a list, setting a schedule. I think Bobby had the best one where I'm like, okay, the next time I'm working from home, like I need to do that. Where it's like the I'm going to say it wrong, Pomodoro method, where you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect for people who kind of like, because the thing that came up again and again was laundry, doing dinner, chores, of where like the other side of adult life is calling to you when you're just like, well, I might as well take 5 minutes. It's like if you set the schedule of those 5 minutes are probably far more valuable than like laundry staring at you being like, do me, finish this.
Exactly. Oh, that's actually, we did kind of establish, both my significant other and I, we have a day that we'll do laundry or we have a day that we'll do, whatever set chores. And that's something that we established early on. So we do still try to stick with that. Even the days that he works from home, then because we have other challenges when we're both working from home as well. So, it's finding that delicate balance. But I think Bobby also had another point of, write down the things of, this can be done later, and making sure that you don't get distracted by those little things that, yeah, I can do those now and they're a little bit fun, but no, those are things that I need to push off, and writing them down so you don't forget to come back to them. But you also, it's out of your mind. If you write it down, it's kind of off and you can focus on other things. And that's something that, that's a trick that I'm going to have to enforce as well.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea though, because I feel because this also came up as a question, is when those lines between home and work are so blurred, like how do you make sure that, when do you start work, when do you finish work, how do you like make sure that you're not answering emails late into the night, because you still make time for yourself, and having those like, those Wikipedia rabbit holes that we all get into, usually about serial some form. It's like we all know it.
Yes.
So how do we like? I love the idea of like making a list of like, got to get back to that later, rather than making that part of your 5 minutes. And yeah. So how are you? So is there something that you've done and you're like, this is not a good fit for me, that you wouldn't change, that you've changed, or you're just like, everything is still on that learning curve?
Everything is on that learning curve.
100%. Check back in like 6 months being like, where are you at?
Exactly. One of the good things that we did, it was right around back to school, we both kind of agreed I need my own space, because I was working at the dining room table, and that is not a good place, to try to get some work done. There's too many distractions and there's not enough space to actually move. And sorry, there's a helicopter going by, or a plane going overhead. And so hopefully that audio isn't too terrible. But, I went and I bought a desk. Exactly. I bought a desk and put it in the bedroom and set up my own little space. So that way I can also close the door and, keep everything separate. And so that is one of the things that, we did to minimize the distractions, and that has been a huge help so far. But yeah, definitely we'll have to check back in 6 months and see if I've established, an actual schedule, and what the heck I'm doing with my life, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know that feeling, especially when you're at work, and especially like that line of like, this is where I'm working. Everyone talked about that. Is I know for myself, is whenever I work from home, or like I work on the road, or if I don't have anything to do that day, I still shower, dress, walk to my desk. Like it's still that, like, I may not have a commute, but I still have the structure of, this is me doing my day. I mean, other people were like, okay, the perks are pajamas. So, but I think if I stayed in pajamas, I would still be in that, well, I'll just spend 5 minutes on Wikipedia. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. Or it's like, one short episode of something on Netflix. It's only 26 minutes. 3 episodes later, you're like, oh, crap.
Law and Order. It's always on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, awesome.
We all have our guilty pleasures.
Yeah. Well, Reagan, thank you for your time. And I think we will check in about 6 months to be like, what have you learned? But I can see Riley definitely wants to get going on the perk of you being at home, like enjoying sunny California. So thank you. Everyone, remember to join us for PromoChat every Wednesday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And thank you to our sponsors, Maple Ridge Farms, who make this possible. I know, they're the best.
They are. So good.
Yes, they're perfect. Well, thank you. And remember to join us for PromoChat. Just follow the hashtag. Take care.
All right.